Today, we're back with the best cards at each position right now in Madden 25 Ultimate Team. We do have a No Money Spent episode coming out later this week, so hopefully you guys do enjoy that one. I've been working on that video. Should be a good one, hopefully. I haven't played my draft yet, but it kind of comes down to that. We actually are on the No Money Spent account, No Money Spent account right now, as you guys can see with our coin count and stuff like that. But let's just get right into it at quarterback. And right now, there's a lot of cards, a lot of positions where there is a clear number one. And I do think that over the next couple of weeks, we're going to have cards that kind of catch up. If not, some might surpass, but we should get a pretty nice jump in cards and attributes and abilities and things like that, where there'll be more options at these positions. I mean, there still are some options, but I think there are a lot of clear-cut number one. So getting started at quarterback, I think this is an example of a clear-cut number one, a guy that is 90-90, 90-90 everywhere for the important passing stats and all the stats you want for a quarterback with a pretty solid release, with 87 carrying, the ability to roll out. Luck to me is the clear number one at QB right now. He's the clear number one. I think that's pretty. I don't think there's really even a debate here. I don't think there is. I mean, obviously you can use other guys and be effective, but I think it's just got to be like Luck just is the guy. I'm at running back, Alvin. Alvin cards always play great, although I'm still waiting for a really nice 245-pound running back. And once we see that, they're going to drop one eventually. I feel like EA knows that the heavy running back's really good this year. So once they drop one that has a little bit of speed, which we should be coming up on that, where we kind of can get these heavier running backs with some good speed. We're kind of getting to that point. They haven't really done it yet this year, but I feel like we're getting to that spot of the year where we should see this. I mean, I do like the Saquon card. I like the Chubb card, but the Alvin card is just too elite, man. He's just too good. You see all the stats here, the juke, the spin, and obviously running in this game it's not great, right? I mean, we know this, but the Alvin card for 1.5 mil or 1.7 mil is amazing. Fullback, Patrick Ricard, I think the fullback position right now is pretty weak. So, Okoye is nice, though. Okoye, 89 speed. He's one of those faster, heavier running backs where you can use him. I still do feel like Alvin does slightly beat him at running back, but Okoye at running back is really good. Even if you don't have him even fully upgraded, for example, he can still play. Wait, I wanted to go to upgrade. Even if you don't have him fully upgraded, you have him at an 88 or something like that. He's still all right, but this full upgrade is going to be really nice if you can get him. He's going to be pretty underrated, especially because we have Dawkins is probably the more popular option. Even for the no money spent account, I had you guys vote on what card you wanted to see, and Brian Dawkins won that. But Okoye, man, he's been really good. Maybe not. He can be a pure fullback too, but I think as a running back, this card also has options. I think it's Alvin and Okoye for my 1 and 2 at running back right now, just because he is 250. And again, we should be seeing those 90, those top end speed running backs that are still 250. I mean, there's not many guys that could really come out and get that, have that. Maybe like a Derrick Henry or something like that. What would be crazy, but Okoye, this card does play well at fullback. I would say he's probably the best fullback in the game too. When you really think about it, we compare him to. I mean, I'm talking about fullbacks right now. We're going on a tangent about fullbacks, but comparing to Ricard, I mean, and we fully upgrade him here, you're gonna see the speed's better, the lead block's better, and I do like the weight a lot on Ricard too. That 305, if you can get him downfield, which with 85 speed and his stats, you will be able to 305 picking up linebackers and DBs. He makes them look small out there, so that's why I kind of do like Ricard, but Okoye is not a bad upgrade option for the season 3 guys. I don't hate it at all. And then we have our wide receivers. This would be my favorite wide receiving core. I mean, I didn't want to build just a bunch of tall guys out there that can run. I tried building an actual receiving core with these guys. So I think Randy definitely deserves it for sure. 91 speed. His price is somewhat reasonable for a Randy Moss card, but 91 speed, 89 acceleration. Can run the routes for you that you need. Put him on the outside, put him outside the numbers, and let him cook pretty much is what you got to do. 85 do move as well, which is a nice threshold to hit. So Randy cards are always play like Randy cards, and this one's pretty nice. We have Brian Thomas Jr., who's been balling this year. I think he's got hurt, though, I'm pretty sure. But 6'3", 91 speed, put him outside the numbers as well. But can also, work between the numbers and catch contested balls, which Randy really cannot do that well with only 84. So Brian Thomas, I do like a lot. And also, the abilities on these guys are pretty solid, too. Randy's, I feel like, could be a little bit better, but I do like Yakimov. I think Yakimov's pretty solid. And then we got Brian Thomas here, his abilities. Yeah, come up. I don't hate the stock X Factors this year. I really do not. I know because they are free, right? And we're still limited with AP, so I don't really hate running like stock X Factors. I feel like they light up a lot more this year. But Brian Thomas Jr. looking great. And then in the slot, like on end arounds, just kind of get the ball in his hands for like a check down or something like that. I do like Tavon Austin. Can also be a pretty good deep threat, but we know that smaller receivers do still struggle to get open down the field a lot, especially when their speed isn't that much crazier than the corners, and we still have corners that can match these guys. Unless you come across like an absolute shitter team, it's going to be tough to get Tavon Austin really open down the field. But I do like the short route running, and the deep route running. The mid route running, not great, but he does still hit an 85 threshold, which is definitely nice. But the main reason why I like him is for the after the catch. He's smaller and has a good juke, good spin, good COD with a good break tackle. So Tavon Austin, put him in the slot, put the other two guys out to the numbers. That's a pretty good receiving core right there. Tight end, we have the people's tight end, George Kittle. This card is amazing because he can also run block really well. He's 6'4" with 91 speed. And yeah, he's just insane. Look at the rest of the tight ends in the game right now. I mean, I like Antonio Gates. Antonio Gates' card does play really well, but he would have been number one if it wasn't for George Kittle coming out. Gronk I still do like as well, and for his price, it's not bad. But you see, like Kittle can do everything Gronk can do. 2 inches shorter, weighs a little bit less, but is a better run blocker with much better speed. He really is. On the offensive line, I do prefer Teron Armstead over Jake Matthews. I do. We then have Steve Hutchinson here with pretty much, the 90s are really nice. Only gets 84 pass block finesse, but looks really good with 90 strength. Center, I went David Andrews because these stats down here just do look amazing. David DeCastro, and this is pretty much just, the highest overall guys at the position. Again, as we get more offensive linemen, if they don't catch up to these guys, they'll be slightly better. But Antoine Harrison, I really like because he also can get that +2 speed with 72 speed, 74 acceleration is amazing with these stats. Lead block and impact block, there is some room there. And one card I definitely do like as kind of like a wild card would be if you have JC Latham. I think he's still one of the best in the game. Look at the speed and the acceleration with these stats. If you need like a guard or something like that, play him out of position or even at center. It doesn't matter where you want to use this card. Wherever you can utilize that little extra speed, I like JC Latham there. I'm heading over to defense. We got Reggie White. Reggie White's a stud, man. Reggie White, and there are some other cards I considered. I mean, he's not even the highest overall. We have Crosby, Dante Fowler with a really good finesse move, but the 90-90 to me is what does it on a Reggie White, man. The 90-90 is crazy, and getting it this early, it does play insane, and the traits are obviously kind of perfect as well. Next up, we have Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons cards always play amazing. He's got 91 finesse move with 89 speed. And the tackling stats, and the hit power, there's room there. There's definitely room to grow there, but it does look really nice as far as the stats go, and does get that edge threat elite, as the X factor, which is really, really nice. At defensive tackle, Warren Sapp. And the main stat I'm looking for on defensive tackles is acceleration. I love acceleration on my guys up front. Kind of getting that short, quick burst after a shed is really important. So Sapp even having 81 speed, 89 acceleration with 90 finesse move and really good tackling stats with perfect traits. He is the best right now at this position. And as far as who's behind him, I think I'm a Chris Jones, but I'm not in love with this one, man. I'm really not, because this is another position where I feel like we could get someone that's really nasty over the next couple weeks or days at this position. It is pretty shallow this year at defensive tackle, which I feel like it's normally not. So I think with Chris Jones, but his acceleration 82, it's there, and you could. Main reason why I have him is for the finesse move, but for the power move, right? Yeah, for the power moves, but he's gonna play solid. Vince Wilfork, you could always go him too because of his build being crazy, but I don't love the lowest speed. The 69 speed is not great, even if you have 84 acceleration. Next up, left outside linebacker, we're gonna go Terrell Suggs. Terrell Suggs, man, look at the run stopping stats, amazing. Traits are almost perfect, doesn't have big hitter, things like that. But 87 speed, good acceleration, 91 power moves, and pretty much 90 everywhere for the run stopping stats is amazing. Middle linebacker, it's clearly going to be Fred Warner here, and I will put a sub linebacker safety in this video as well. But Fred Warner, 91 speed, 90 acceleration, 6'3", and does have the hit power, and of course that 91 zone coverage. Both the players of the month card were really good. They're really good, both Kamara and Fred Warner. So, and then here are the abilities. Are they great? No, but they're pretty solid. They're not terrible, right? They're not terrible. A lurk artist for one is nice to have right there. We then have DeMarcus Ware. DeMarcus Ware, I was between, this is a position right here where I feel like he is the clear number one, but I do like Brian Arabco for 100K. He's really good. Solid card. I mean, 200K from DeMarcus is, I think he's worth this compared to Arabco. Just an extra 100K for perfect traits pretty much. And these stats is really nice. Really, really nice right there. And then corner, we have Deion Primetime Sanders, of course. 1.8 mil for this card. Going to be a lot. Even his 90 overall card is obviously still good. And does have that, one thing I do like about my corners is the ability to, make things happen after the interception. Do these guys always catch picks? No, but I do. Once the ball's in his hands, nothing more frustrating than when you have one more offensive lineman to beat and you can't juke. But Deion can obviously do that. Does feel amazing. As you guys know, after the catch, his cards, I always like them. Just very well-rounded. Always play well. But the only problem with him right now, it's still an early game Deion, so early-ish game Deion, so you're not going to have the tackling stats as well. But good pursuit. Maybe get on there, conservative tackle, or at least try to. You know what I mean? He's not going to be great. And then we have Denzel Ward, slightly better against the run. Slightly better, like plus 20 on tackling and hit power with 92 pursuit, 90 man, 90 zone, with 91 speed at 5'11". And he's also an AKA, so those X factors are going to be a little bit different. And then for the last corner, I was between Champ. There were some other guys I was considering, but I did go with L'Jarius Sneed because of how balanced the man and zone coverage is on him compared to a guy like Champ Bailey, where, Revis you could also consider, but L'Jarius does, where's L'Jarius? He is also 6'1" compared to Revis only being 5'11", and even Jalen Johnson is pretty solid too. So there are options at corner. It's a pretty deep position, but like Champ Bailey, I like his build. I do like the way he plays in man, but only the 83 zone definitely does scare me. At safety, free safety, we have Ed Reed. If you cannot afford Ed Reed, which you probably can, I think Ed is still the best safety in the game, which EA did a good job with this card. I mean, they made him really good, so it was worth getting that top 100, which is nice. And of course, they did kind of boost him a little bit, but really good zone. And then it gets the run. Against the run, he could be better. I won't lie. I think that's the one hole on this card where. But again, the run game in this game, usually you're not even gonna get the guy you're playing won't even get to that second level, so it won't be that big of a deal, to be honest, with the run game. But if you can't afford him, I think the second best is Damar Hamlin. 89 speed, 89 acceleration, 91 zone coverage, and can tackle a little bit better. Strong safety. Over the top, I like Brian Branch. I do, 6 foot. Can play zone, can play man as well, which is the main reason why I have him here over the top, because if you're playing man a lot, if you're playing, a guy over the top, there's a lot more man-to-man scenarios that you'll probably put him in. But I would, probably try to keep him in deep blues and things like that, even if you are playing man coverage. And then for your sub linebacker safety, Cam Chancellor, obviously, I think when he's in the box, he goes crazy. Pause. But it's not even, is that a pause? I don't know. But he does obviously play well. It's Cam Chancellor. The main reason why I don't like him over the top as much is because of that man coverage. If your scheme is just kind of zone coverage, then you'll be okay. Give him that +1 zone coverage, get him up to 90, and let him cook over the top. But I do like him in the box too as like a user, or even just a guy that kind of lurks by himself. And then you guys do like when I put the kicker and punter in. So Jason Elam and Sean Ledetta. These positions are both really, they don't have much depth this year. They really don't. So I would go with Elam or Sean Landetta for punter or kicker. So those are the best cards at each position right now in the game. Drop a comment down below. Who is snubbed? Do you guys agree with the list? What do you guys think? And of course, as always, hit the subscribe button. Have a great rest of your day. And I will see you boys in the next one.